Oh, I guess I am live. Hey guys, how you guys doing? I'm live. I didn't see the number ticking. It got to tick to 10 seconds, and then I know I'm actually recording. So how you guys doing? I'm going to do a lesson. Going to be partially, I'm going to throw in some math, and I'm going to throw in some of my little theorems, the Weismann's theorem and identity and formula. And I'm going to throw in some Bible study. Can you guys see the board? I don't know if maybe I should turn the light on a little lighter. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me do that. Let me make the light a little brighter in this room. Sorry, I didn't think of that ahead of time. Let me turn the light a little brighter so you guys can see better. Yeah, right. Can't even turn the thing. Be right back. That's totally dark. 2, 3. Okay, how you guys doing? Phone should still be recording. All right, let's do some nerding out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to recap first. Well, first let's do some math, and then let's do a bunch of nerdish stuff. So I did some math research, and it turns out that Weismann's formula is valid. Of course, this pen isn't valid anymore because it just broke in my hand. This pen is no longer valid because it's broken in my hand. So there's that. Weismann's theorem, Weismann's formula is if r cubed equals x cubed plus y cubed plus z cubed, that works for r equals 6, x equals 3, y equals 4, and z equals 5. So that you have 6 cubed equals 3 cubed plus 4 cubed plus 5 cubed. That's actually true, and that's Weismann's formula, because 216 equals 27 plus 64 plus 125. So that's Weismann's formula. But I took it too far in the sense I'm going to tell you in a second here. I was hoping that meant this, and it doesn't. So, but I'm documenting that by telling you guys that. I was hoping it meant that if you go x, y, z, if you go 3 on the x, 4 on the y, and 5 out of the page, which is the z-axis, that it would be 6 units to the origin. That's actually not true, and let me explain why. It's because the formula for a sphere, I was hoping the formula for a sphere was r cubed equals x cubed, centered at the origin, of course. Otherwise, if not at the origin, you have to factor in another little detail. Add a minus thing to the x, the y, the z, the x, the y, then the z. Have to get a minus, and a number that x, y, z together makes the center of the sphere. But this is not true for a sphere. The equation for a sphere is r squared equals x squared plus y squared plus z squared. So that's the equation for a sphere. It's all squares. It has another term, as in z, third dimension, third axis coming out of the page, but it's not cubes, it's squares that define a sphere. So I was wrong about saying this would be the equation of a sphere, and that therefore the r would be 6 away from the origin if x is 3, y is 4, and z is 5. So it turns out, Rex helped me, it turns out that if x equals 3 and y equals 4 and z equals 5, that the equation is r squared equals, it would be, the equation of a sphere would make r squared would be 3 squared plus 4 squared plus 5 squared, which is make r squared equals 9 plus 16 plus 25, and that's equal 50. So if r squared equals 50, then r equals the square root of 50, which is the square root of 25 times the square root of 2 But since the square root of 25 is 5, it's equal to 5 times the square root of 2, which is like 7.07 or something like that. So that's the actual equation for a sphere. It doesn't add another dimension to the equation. It just adds another term, but they're all second powers, not third. So that means that Weismann's formula only so far to me only means it's, first of all, it's a nice numerical coincidence, because that's cool, right? But it's also cool that the volume of a sphere of radius 3 plus the volume of a sphere of radius 4 plus the volume of a sphere of radius 5 is equal to the volume of the sphere of radius 6. Or a cubed of side length 3, volume of a cube side length 3 plus the volume of a cube of side length 4 plus the volume of a cube of side length 5 is equal to the volume of a cube of side length 6. But it doesn't have much other usefulness. But it's just still cool that it's true, don't you think, in numbers? And it's cool that I thought of that it's true. Okay, now let's move on to the Bible stuff again. Let's recap. So remember Revelation 13:18. This is the verse that mentions 666. 13 can be 12, can be 12 plus 1, and 18 can be 12 plus 6, or it could be 6 plus 6 plus 6. And note that I was born 12/6/1966. So you can get the 12 and the 1 from this 12 and this 1 to make 13, and the 666 to make 18 right here. From this, or you can take 12 and 6 as the 18, and the 1 and the 66 here as the 13. So there's two ways of getting 13/18 for my birthday. And not only that, but the verse mentions 666, which my birthday has, and let's read the verse, and then we'll go to the next thing I'm going to talk about, and then we'll end the video. So let's go to Revelation 3. I have a Bible here. Let's go to Revelation 13:18. I have the New World Translation. It's the Jehovah's Witness Bible. I don't have the King James or any of that crap. 13:18 says, Revelation, here is where wisdom comes in. Let the one that hath intelligence calculate the number of the wild beast, for it is a man's number, and its number is 666. So it says here is wisdom comes in. Here's where wisdom comes in. Wisdom, the first three letters in wisdom are WIS, which is the first three letters in my last name, which is Wiseman. And it's when it says, for it is a man's number. Man is the last three letters of my last name, which is my last name is Wiseman. So MAN is the last three letters of my last name. So those two words, wisdom and man, spell my last name without the E if you take some letters out of them. So that's interesting to me. Okay, but that's still not the end of the video / lesson. I made a Bible contest earlier. I said that anybody that solves it, but no one's going to solve it. And I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag. So Daniel 11:37. This is the verse I'm speaking of. Daniel 11:37 says some interesting things that still mean I could be the Antichrist in my view. But first, let's analyze those numbers. 11 and 37. What do you get there? Well, 11 times 6 is 66. And that's could be in my birthday as the 12, because 12 equals 6 plus 6. 37 times 3 equals 111, and 111 times 6 equals 666. So 37, the verse that this is 37 times 3 times 6, or 37 times 18. And that comes to voila, 666, which is the other, which makes 5 sixes. Like my birthday is 12/6/1966. So the 12 can be the 2 sixes of the 11, and the 666 could be the 3 sixes of the 37 times 18, which 18 is 3 times 6. So that's interesting. That the number, the very verse itself in Daniel says things about my birthday. But look at this: 11 times 6 can be 11 times 2 times 3, 11 times 3 times 2, or 11 times 6 times 1. There's 3 ways of making a 6 out of 1, 2, and 3, and 6. It can the 6 can be 2 times 3, it can be 3 times 2, or 6 times 1. And this way it's 2, 3, 6, and this way it's 1, 2, 3. But in the numbers are going in inverse order from each other. So 6 times 1 is 6, 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 times 3 is 6. So there's 3 ways of getting the 6, which is interesting, but not that important. Now the 37 times 18, well, 37 times 18 can be 37 times 2 times 9. It can be 37 times 3 times 6, or it can be 37 times 6 times 3. 2 times 9 is 18. 37 times 18 is 111. 3 times 6 is 18. 37 times 18 is 111. 6 times 3 is 18. 37 times 18 is 111. But there's 3 ways of doing the 18. It can be, if you take 2, 3, and 6, and then 3, 6, and 9, but in reverse order, 2 and 9 make 18, 3 and 6 make 18, and 6 and 3 make 18. So there's 3 ways of doing it also. Only instead of 1, 2, and 3, you have 3, 6, and 9. So there's interesting math there. But now let's get to the verse and see why it still means I could be the Antichrist, in my view. So the verse says, and to the God of his fathers he will give no consideration, to the desire of women and to every other god he will give no consideration, but over everyone he will magnify himself. Well, it doesn't say he desires men. It just says he doesn't desire women, which can mean he likes not underage 18 girls, but younger girls. But I don't disobey the law with sex. So I do not have sex with underage girls. Or it can mean that the person is non-sexual, because that would still be not desiring women. I'm not non-sexual, but anybody could be. So there's multiple interpretations of that. I've heard pastors get up there and say that means that the Antichrist is gay, but that's not true. It doesn't say that specifically. It doesn't say he desires men. And that still leaves wide open territory for anybody. That doesn't mean they have to be gay. So and the numbers work out cool. And I don't have sex with underage 18 girls, though. I do not do that. And but I don't, I just don't. So I usually don't. I like, when I had Amy, my girlfriend, she was like 32. That's still a girl compared to my age. I don't like girls my age. I'm just not that attracted to them. That it's not, Amy's still legal though. And that's how I play it. They have to be legal, but I like them younger than me. And that's just how I roll. So anyway, anything else? Let me think. Anything I left out in this lesson? Let me think here. Let me think. So I hope you enjoyed my lesson that I gave tribute to Eddie Van Halen's theory and technique, a scale of his and technique of his, and a scale of Randy Rhoads. And I am going to church today. I'm going to walk there. I got to go in 2.5 hours or so. So love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.